And before we start, I would like to pose a question. You can use the chart to, to jot down your ideas. If I say customer journey, what words come to your mind? If you can just put it in the journey, in the chat box, I would like to just have an idea what you think of when we speak about customer journey and what your understanding is.
So these are just words, correct?
Yes.
What words come to mind?
What words come to mind? Yes.
Oh, we've got some great comments coming in here. We've got the experience from Lloyd. We've got friction and pain points. We've got steps. We've got project or initiative. Opa says engagement. And Gwen says context, aims, starting points. Craig, typically pain and friction rather than frictionless. Alistair says, how might we delight our customers? Bulelwa says, compliments and complaints. Great, excellent. Onboarding, delivery, delight. Wonderful.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I think that is brilliant. That is brilliant because everything that I've had, it really talks to, a customer journey. So I'm just going to carry on now, to say a customer journey is a complete sum of experience that customers go through when interacting with your company and brand over time. Most of you have said words that somehow do fit in this journey. You've mentioned pains, you've mentioned a whole lot of things that, yes, they do make up this journey. So it is a map. So when you're talking of a map, it's like when we're creating a visual story of the customer interactions with the brand. Okay, and mainly, there's the specific questions that a customer journey, asks, and that a customer journey needs to answer as well. Number one is, how do your consumers learn about you? Long before they get in contact with you, how do they learn about you? What potential barriers do they face between discovery and purchase? You've mentioned those things as well. As they interact with your business, as they interact with your brand, what are those issues? What are those challenges? What are those problems? What are those happy moments as well? Not just pains, but also those happy moments that they experience as they interact with the brand. And as well, how do you solve those problems? When you have identified the problems in the journey, how do you solve those problems? And I think for customers, it's not necessarily about problems, but it's how you as a business respond to them, when there's an issue. So it is important that, we understand those issues and we come up with solutions, for that journey to delight the customer. I think one of the comments, it spoke about delighting the customer. Okay, again, I'm just going to ask you again on the chart, to perhaps share with us, what do you think, why do you think customer journeys are important? If you can just, on the chart, jotting down there, share with us why you think customer journeys are important. I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes.
Okay, we've got again, nice comments coming in here. I did notice the previous comments before, which we'll come back to later. So, but we've got insight, understanding. We've got the data. This comment came up before, but I think it's also valid to develop deeper consumer insights, which will lead to improving your ROI. Opa says to ensure you solve the right problem. Dion says retention. Gwen says in order to develop a sustainable relationship. Jackie says better UX. Makona says to add more value to the business. Bulelwa says word of mouth for the company. Great comments. Please continue adding. We have Niraj saying that ability to use that journey to improve. Excellent. Mike says to ensure repeat business and referrals. Excellent comments. Always be learning, say Craig. That's also another good one, because we don't look at customer journeys also to learn from it. Tiam says, and I'm sure I pronounced your name incorrectly there, but better understanding of the customer's expectations. Excellent. Wow.
Great comments indeed. Great comments. Do you have more coming in, Lisa?
Yeah, I just had one more
I can
here.
see on my side.
Yeah, we just had a couple more that just came in. To manage relationship and maintain the customers. From Cleopas, and Rory says to gain a competitive advantage. Yeah.
Wow. Great comments indeed. Great comments indeed. Okay, and you know why the customer journeys are important. You know, I think a lot have been said on the comments already, which kind of encapsulates, you know, what we have here. You know, number one, we have better understanding of customer expectations. It is important to understand what the customer expectations are. It is important to understand what is it that the customers are wanting to achieve as they interact with your brand. It is important to understand what they go through. You know, what are those challenges that they experience as they go through your brand. And therefore, it's important to understand, you know, what the expectations are as customers. And that also came out of the comments in the chat section. Okay, the second one is to create a personalized experience across all touch points. Customers today do not want to be treated as a number, but they want to be treated as individuals, and therefore personalization has become key, you know, for every business, and that is why we, you know, when we talk of customer journeys, then we start talking about the personas, you know, the personas that you will actually be interfacing with it. So you need to describe these personas so that you can be able to get to these personalized experience at every touch point of the journey. Okay, and differences in buyer personas as well. Yes, you are able then to cater for them, you know, based on their needs, you know, based on the different personas that you would have defined, you know, for your brand, or for your service, or for your business. And all these things, I think, they have come out of the chart.
Yes. What I love about that slide is the outside in thinking. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely the outside in thinking, where you take input, you know, from your customers, and you work from outside, from what they think and what they and what their unmet needs are. and you then define your solutions based on those unmet needs from the customer's perspective. Okay, and okay, the next, I'm just gonna give you the stages, the basic stages of a customer journey quickly. You know, the customer journey, it's made up of 4 stages. That is like the basic one. It doesn't necessarily have to be 4. You could make it 5, depending on the nature of the business as well, and you know what it is that you want to get out of that. So, but these are the key, or rather the basic or the foundation of a customer journey. The step number 1 is the early stage, which is the moment 0. This is where the customers become aware of your brand. You know, it could be through advertising or other means. This is the stage where the customers are considering, you know, something, you know, to meet their needs. So this is also long before they actually make contact with the business itself. The second stage is now the customer could have seen some marketing campaigns or something on Facebook, and now, you know, and they're thinking, this is something I might need, and then they start researching about the, you know, the brand, the company itself. And even at this point, you as a business might not even know that the customer is already investigating, you know, your company or your brand. Okay, and the third stage is the committing stage. This is now when the customer decides to commit or make a purchase, or when the customer decides to subscribe. This is now the relationship now with the customer is now being formalized. And the last stage, this is now the nurturing of the customer, because it doesn't only end after the customer has made a purchase. There's ongoing relationships that needs to be nurtured even long after the purchase. So, and therefore, I think as business, and even a small business, we need to be ready and prepared for the unknown. You know, customers engage with the brand long before they make contact. It is important. Those 2 early stages, the moment 0 and the moment 1, that is the research, are very key to even include in your customer journey. When you're thinking of the customer journey, you need to think of it from that point when the customer, or rather the customer is considering, or the customer is interacting with your marketing that you could be doing on Facebook or whatever, until long after the customer has made a purchase. So I'm just going to quickly, I'm just going to give you an example of what a customer journey looks like before we get to the actual exercise that we're going to do of a customer journey map. So this is a visual where we're visualizing a customer journey. I'm just going to go take you through this example quickly. And if you look here on the left, you know, we spoke about personas. We spoke about a persona. And this it's important. You need to define the persona. That is the person that you imagine will be walking this journey, and describe the characteristics of this persona. You could use, you know, age, you know, the demographics basically of this personas. And on the far right as well, we have expectations. So here we have Eric, who is shopping for a car. And the scenario here as well, scenario is also important. The scenario is shopping for a car and has recently moved to that area. So we have Eric, who is our persona, and the scenario is that they are shopping for a car. And the expectation, that this is now from Eric's perspective, his expectation is that he's able to compare cars. There's good photography, there's video overview. So this is long before now they start interacting with the brand. Okay, so if you look here, we have these 5 stages, very similar to the previous slide. And the first stage is consider. This is the moment 0. This is where Eric is considering, and Eric is seeing a TV commercial. So here we're seeing that, Eric is seeing TV commercial. Eric is browsing Facebook, and Eric at the bottom, if you look here, we have a bubble here that is it's just showing how Eric, is feeling as he interacts with the website. Wow, the website is great. And then Eric moves to the next stage. Then Eric is starting to explore the website to see what's in the website. And the comment as well that we have here is that disappointed with some of the listing. Okay, and the next stage, this is now Eric is starting to compare. After comparing, Eric starts to test. And then testing with different dealerships. And then after 2 weeks, then Eric starts to negotiate. This is now where Eric is now committing now. So if you look at this journey here, if you look at the time frames, Eric has been interacting with the brand long before they started negotiating. And in the journey as well, here we are indicating as well that as they interact with the brand, what is the experience and what are the issues that they are experiencing. And one of you as well, I think in the chart has mentioned, that pain points and all that. So this is just an example that I'm giving you. But a journey, it reflects all these things, but not limited to what we see here. There's a whole lot of other things that you can include in the journey and expand it.